Okay guys, just going to do a little walk around of the underside of the car. Back here at my buddy's house, put it up on the lift. And we're just checking things over, getting everything ready. Got track day today, gonna make some passes. And hopefully we can get it into the 10s, that's the goal. We'll see, we're gonna start off low and probably around 10 pounds of boost, and then work our way up. But I just wanted to give a little walk around of the underside. Nothing crazy, normal stuff. I just got done installing the bracket, and oh, speak of the devil, this guy pulling up in his slow Corvette. And yeah, nothing crazy. I did the Dirty Dingo mount. It went in pretty easily. I mean, some of those bolts are a pain to get to, but it's in there. I left the compressor out because I'm waiting to get the, I got to get the belt and the lines, and I didn't want to just leave it in there and get a bunch of stuff caught in the compressor, so I left it unhooked. But yeah, we did full 3-inch exhaust. Stainless steel, and everything's V-banded, so you can drop sections off without taking everything apart. Worked out pretty nice. The wastegate we had to put down here. There's really nowhere else to put it up there because of the air conditioning, so it works pretty well. It's plumbed in here to the main exhaust. And so far I haven't had any issues with it. Hopefully it remains that way. But yeah, the exhaust comes all the way out the back, up over the rear, and then out the side. Ooh, almost dropped the camera. And then I did Trick Performance Trick Performance upper and lower bars. And then the box, I don't know what these are called actually, I forget the name. But go to their website, they have all this stuff, and then we boxed in the frame all the way. And they have a kit for that, I got that as well. Got my grounds here, battery cables, battery shut off back here in the back. That's up under there. Did a rear sump in the stock fuel tank, which worked out pretty well so far. I did, and then the Holly. This is like a 2-stage, I can't remember what it's exactly called, but it's like a 2-stage pump, so it runs like 1 stage for regular driving, and then I have it programmed in the Terminator to kick on the second pump. I think at like 70% throttle, or 70% throttle, and or over 2 pounds of boost. It'll kick on the second pump, and that'll help with the fuel. I think we did, what did I do, 1,000? I think 1,000 injectors. I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, nothing crazy. Intercooler setup, that was not too bad to hook up. You know, we just came out from in there, boom, over to here, then it goes back up, right through there, and goes to the motor. You know, we had to make mounts, and I made this because the rubber one was trash and flimsy. I didn't like it. I might cut, we cut these out for airflow to the intercooler, and I might do another one here. So far, my intake air temps haven't been too crazy. I've been pretty happy with it, so we might just leave that alone. We'll see. See what it does. But that's all. Just wanted to give an update on that, and we're gonna see what she can do today. That's it.
Hey, that Ford truck went 1215 at 112 miles an hour. The The dark went 11 seconds. The Corvette goes 1493 at 93 miles an hour.
Well, as you saw, I had some issues at the track on the first pass there. I wasn't paying attention to the boost level. I was focused on my tack and trying to make sure I got my shift points right, and didn't notice that the boost crept all the way up to 29.2. And this is what happened. We melted the piston. If you could see, it melted it and pushed the ring down. So, needless to say, we're done with this motor. And yeah, I could rebuild it, but I think I'm just going to switch to a 6-liter. A buddy of mine's got 2 of them, and we're just going to build a 6-liter and say goodbye to the 5.3. And yeah, the heads are still good. Everything else is still good. It just did that. I'm going to take the pan off and take the cam out and the lifters and check everything out. I'll try to save what I can for something else later on. But 99% sure that I'm just going to do a 6.0 and go from there, just because it's literally a block away from me. I can go pick it up and just get to work on it instead of taking this to the machine shop and dealing with all that and waiting a month. And every time, it just seems like every time I have to deal with a machine shop, it ends up bad. So we're not doing that anymore. Yeah, this side over here, everything still looked good. Just that one hole, little bit of scoring, but nothing crazy. Yeah, so the motor's out, and yeah, we're gonna fix her up, and I'm gonna change some setups with the exhaust and make it so that it's the wastegate works a little better, because I think that might have been part of my issue. And so yeah, hopefully I'll get some other videos of that, and then we'll be back. We'll be back at the track and we'll see what it does. Wow, that's all I gotta say. So this is number 8 piston and rod. You can see it bent the rod. Try to get a good picture there. And melted a hole through the piston. So I'm not exactly sure. Well, I mean, I know it boost crept up to 29.2 psi. Obviously that's an issue because they're just regular hyperotectic pistons. And originally the motor was built to be a mild boost, not anything crazy. So that's why I went with the Speed Pro pistons, because the most it was ever going to make, the most I was ever going to let it make, let me rephrase that, was around 15, I figured would be the most. So I didn't feel the need to have forged pistons. Well, maybe I should have. So I think the new one is going to have forged pistons. And so if this type of thing happens again, you know, hopefully it won't be as bad. I want to talk a little bit about the run. So I messed up, and so previous to that run, a few months before that, I had taken the car there and started real low in the boost, and I was going to work my way up. Well, first pass, it didn't have third gear. So I tried manually shifting it, which is what I normally do. It has a turbo 350, and it wouldn't, I'd shift it to third, but there was no third. But if you would leave it in drive and drive around, it would shift into third. So I don't know what was wrong with the transmission, but it was screwed up. So I pulled the transmission out, had it rebuilt, had it built up to 850 horsepower at Vickers Transmissions. They do great work, great prices. Got the transmission back in, and then had to hurry up and scramble because we had to go to Hot Rod Power Tour. So we did all Power Tour, didn't have any problems. They had a dyno at Power Tour where you could do some runs. So we did a couple pulls on low boost, and we ended up making like 636 horsepower. I know it was over 600, I can't remember the exact number. I think it was 636, and about the same foot-pounds of torque. And that was, I figured that would be good. Now, I had room to go higher, but like I said, I didn't want to overboost it and have issues like you see here. So I left it at that setting. Now, we come back, I go to the track again, and oh, let me back up for a second. I also, at the first time of the track, I didn't have a two-step, so I couldn't build boost on the line. So now, with the new transmission, I put a stall converter in, and I had my tuner program a two-step into the car, a mild one, because I don't have what the hell is it called? I didn't want to go crazy on the launch because it's only an 8.5 rear axle in the car. It's a little beefed up. It's got a spool piece, but it's not, you know, it's not super stout, as you could say. So I didn't want to do a trans brake. I was just going to foot brake it with the two-step, and I put the button on the shifter. You know, I have the B&M shifter with the button on the side. So I made that button my two-step activator. And I had my tuner program it for that. It's like around 2,500 RPM. And it worked. So I tested it a few times, you know, just in the street and make sure everything worked. We go to the track, and first pass, I'm on the two-step. It built about, I think it was around 2-3 PSI. It left, and I left, but I forgot to let go of the two-step button. Yeah. So that's why the car takes off real slow, because I'm on the button, the light's green, I let go of the brake, and I'm watching the RPM, focused on my RPM, so I can shift it, and I'm like, why are we not fucking launching here? And then I'm like, oh, I let go of the button, and finally the car takes off. So I was on my 60-foot time was like, I think 2.4 something. It's terrible. So that was mistake number one. Then as I'm going through there, I'm just focused on, you know, I got the little 3.5-inch screen on there, and I'm focusing on my RPMs so I can make sure my shifts are good. And the car seems like it's pulling pretty good. And I make the shift into second gear, still pulling pretty good. And then it just kind of like, it's still pulling, but it's not pulling like it should be. And I'm watching my RPMs, and I'm like just about ready to shift into third, and I notice like a red flashing light on the top right, which is my boost indicator. And I'm like, oh, and I hit third. I hit third because I looked away from the tack, and then by the time I looked back, it was 6,000. I wanted to shift at 6,000. I click it into third gear, and I'm just about getting ready to come up on quarter mile, and it's still flashing red. But in my mind, I'm not thinking that that's a problem because it's going so fast with the flashing of the red that I can't really see what the number is. And that screen, I never really set it up properly for the warning lights and such to come on and off right. And so that was mistake number 2, because I should have had that programmed, yellow at, say 14 it would turn yellow, and then 15 or 16 it would turn red. And then same with the RPM. I should have programmed the RPM, to flash at me so I knew when to shift, and then I wouldn't really had to have paid attention. I'm trying to keep the car straight, which the car did great. It went perfectly straight. I barely had to do any corrections, but it also left kind of soft, so that was kind of helped it. But yeah, once I hit third gear, it just really started building the boost, and I was just about to cross the quarter mile mark, and I happened to glance up. I saw the red. I looked in the mirror, and out of the corner of my eye in the mirror, I could see a little bit of smoke, and I lifted. But at that point, it was already too late. I was already across the finish line. And yeah, it smoked it. So, talking with my tuner, and we went over the data because I data logged the run, and yeah, it just kept creeping on the boost. Just, I don't know, it's never done it before, but I've also never really, with street tires on, you can't go crazy. The car has no traction. So I was never really able, you could merge onto the highway and do some, and I did a couple merges onto the highway, and I did some highway rips in third gear, to test it out, make sure my boost was right. And it never even got close to 15. The most it's ever gotten on the street was 10, and that was on the highway. So I never expected it to go that high. When I did the dyno pulls, I got up to 20, and that was because we turned it up. I have a manual boost controller under the hood, and you could turn it up and turn it down. So when we were doing the dyno pulls, we turned it up, and but I know for a fact I turned it back down because I count the clicks. So I counted the clicks, I believe it was like 60 or 65 clicks was 10 psi. So I wanted to start at 10 psi on my first pull here. Well, I had the hood open, and at the shows I had the hood open at the track, letting the car cool before my runs, and people are coming over looking. So I don't know if someone turned it up. I never checked the knob to make sure no one messed with it. It's just one of those things you're not thinking about. So that could be a possibility. Maybe someone fiddled with the knob and it accidentally turned it up. I don't know. I'm gonna check that actually. Never even thought to check it. I was just so pissed off about what happened. I'll double check that. It's possible someone could have turned it up, or it's possible that with the traction and being wide open throttle that it just did boost creep that much. Now, I talked with the tuner, and we went over the data, like I said, and it looks like not only did it boost creep, but my intake air temperature started getting really hot at about, I think he said about 9 seconds into the run. So it started getting pretty high. I can't remember the exact numbers. So when that happened, he had it programmed to pull timing. So it started out, it pulled like I think 3 degrees of timing, and then the temperature started increasing a little more, so it pulled a total of 12 degrees out for the last 5 seconds, or no, I think the last 4 seconds of the run. It was pulling either 10 or 12 degrees total timing out because the intake air temperature was so high. And that kind of, I guess, helped it a little bit. And he said when it did that, now the tune that I had in there was super safe. We had it set up so that it was pretty much pig rich when it was into boost, and that the timing was very conservative, so we could do baby steps and turn it up and turn it up. So it wasn't like a crazy tons of timing. So the last couple seconds of the run, with it pulling that much timing out of the car, it was only at, I think he said it was at -1, which is like, you know, before TDC. So that's like nothing for timing. And I could feel it, because it wasn't really pulling. I mean, it was revving, but it wasn't making any power. And I should have just not been hyper focused on trying to shift. I should have been a little more aware. But lessons have been learned, and we're also, I talked to him, we're going to put a boost safety in there so that if it ever gets past a certain number, I'm going to talk to him about this. Because like I said, I'm going to upgrade the motor a little bit so it can handle a little more boost and a little bit more timing, and get the fueling a little bit better so it's not so rich, because we won't have to worry about, you know, lifting a ringland now, which it didn't even do that. I don't know, it melted a hole. So, but we're going to make some adjustments. I'm going to build a 6-liter. Like I said, a buddy of mine has one, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put forged pistons in it, probably forged rods, stock crank. I think that'll be fine. I'm only trying to make around 800 horsepower max, so I think that'll be more than adequate, and we won't have any problems like this. Like I said, we're gonna have boost safety, so yeah, I mean, stay tuned, and I'll try to get some videos of engine assembly, stuff like that. You know, it's hard. I basically do all this by myself. I mean, my buddy Scott, he helps me a lot. But as far as like recording and stuff, I mean, I don't have anybody to film. I don't have someone to edit the videos and upload it. So I got to do all that stuff, and then plus, you know, taking care of the house and you know, building. I mean, it's just a lot. It takes forever because I suck at it. And so yeah, we'll see. I'll be able to get something. I know that. And then yeah, we'll go out. We'll try it again, and hopefully nothing catastrophic. Like I said, after this, the only weak point's going to be that rear end, and I really don't want to have to mess with the rear end. So I think I'm still going to leave. I think the most I'll try to leave on is 4 PSI. I don't want to go any higher than that. I don't really want to shock that rear gear. And we'll see what it does. Hopefully we can get into the 10s. That's what I want. I want to try to get into the 10s, and I'll be happy with that. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Car's done. I'm just going to drive it and enjoy it. It's already, I mean, that crappy pass was, I think, a 1294. And I mean, it felt okay, but I want to say I wasted at least a full second and a half. I'd say at least a second on that, because I didn't let go of the 2-step button. So it would have been much faster. And like I said, on the street the car feels great, but you can't get any traction on the street. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey, pups. Huh? You want to say hi? Why are you all wet? Were you swimming already? This fucking dog. So yeah, stay tuned. There'll be some more videos, and you know, if you guys have any questions, you know, make a comment, and I'll try to get to them. Actually, that reminds me, I gotta check the comments to see if anybody. I don't get alerts or anything when people leave comments, so I gotta, you know, remember to check on them every so often. So I'll do that before I upload this video, and then we'll be good to go. So thank you, and more videos coming at you. All right, say bye, pups. You guys can't see. Oh, mailman must be here. It's that time of the day.